Activate.
And a rematch from the last video is underway. Henry using its wedge to get under Bayani's little wedgelets at the front. Bayani's had its weapon upgraded for this. They have added more weight into it, hopefully, so they can pack bigger punches. But as of right now, they're not getting that weapon into play. Henry's wedge, which has also been upgraded to have little wedgelets too. Henry, I think they've just lost an eyebrow. Those eyebrows are new. Bayani getting in some little minor shots on the back of Henry. But Henry using its rear to push Bayani back into that wall. Bayani getting out. A nice shot there on the rear end of Henry. Henry's eyes looking a little wibbly and wobbly. Now pushing back onto Bayani. Bayani trying to get that spinner into play, but just kind of flapping one of Henry's eyes a bit. Bayani trying to circle around, but they get boxed into that corner and pushed in again by Henry. Good pin there by Henry. Henry is... They have had a bit more armor added to the side as well. There we go. Bayani is away, getting that spinner back up to speed, but right now their ground game seems to be worse off against Henry's modified wedge, and a nice shot there on the side on Henry's armor, but Bayani spinning and getting pinned in again by Henry. Good control here from Henry. They're basically doing what they were designed to do. Bayani just really struggling to get anything going here. They are showing a bit better control compared to last time we saw them, but that weapon is still leaving a lot to be desired, and in the final seconds of this match, Henry being dominant in the control category once again, keeping Bayani in that corner.
Cease.
I'm not a judge, but I don't think it will take too long to decide who won this match. Both bots were able to start this match off very aggressively, but Bayani was not able to get its weapon into play, and Henry was able to control the match, even using its rear to push Bayani at one point, but it mostly spent the match using its wedge, dominating and boxing Bayani in, so they could not get their weapon into play. They were able to get a few shots in and dislodge the eyes of Henry, but I think Henry's control is what will sway it for me. The winner, by unanimous decision, is Henry.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
And we see the debut of the bright green lifter bot, Lift Jig, box rushing Cheezer, and a huge hit there. I think Cheezer did more damage to itself, removing one of its eyes, and oh, a massive burst of speed from Cheezer. They have had their drive worked on, and they have brand new batteries. I love the new look of Cheezer with their wheel guards and really nice looking bar, and a good lift there from Lift Jig, trying to back into Cheezer now, getting their weapon up to speed. Lift Jig has very durable armor on the sides and front. It seems like Cheezer is trying to get out, but I don't think it can move for some reason. Lift Jig trying to lift them up, their namesake, and Cheezer, I think they've lost drive on one side. They're getting their weapon up to speed, and a nice hit there on the wedge of Lift Jig, and they're trying to lift, struggling with purchase, but now Cheezer doesn't seem to be moving that much. I think they're going to get counted out soon, and there it is. They're not moving at all. This is a really weird, surprising breakdown from Cheezer. I really wonder what happened there. It might be thermal, or I don't know, but Lift Jig will get its debut win, and Cheezer's weapon's back up to speed, and oh no. Oh, there goes a fork. I am still stunned that Cheezer was knocked out in the way that it was. It caused damage to itself early on, and Lift Jig was able to get a half lift in on Cheezer, but Cheezer weirdly lost drive on their left-hand side, and then they just kind of jittered forward a little bit and then just stopped altogether. Really, really bizarre breakdown, and gives Lift Jig its first ever win.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Zephyr spinning up to speed. Hopefully this will be a better match compared to the last time we saw, and immediately removing that little floral decor on Minor Threat, and now removing that little lamp. Zephyr getting pinned in and hammered by Minor Threat. Minor Threat, big meaty shots on top, pinning them in. They need to let go, and they do. Zephyr struggling to get out. It is a little bit hard to tell where it's going, but they do have a little directional indicator on the inside. If you can see just in there, it is blue. There it is. Minor Threat pancaking Zephyr, and there they go. Zephyr is away and spinning back up to speed. Minor Threat moving kind of slowly. It is supposed to move kind of slow, but not this slow, and Zephyr closing in and a minor deflections. Oh, a big shot there onto the side of Minor Threat. I think they've stunned Minor Threat with that one. Can they move? Oh, they can. Okay, phew. I thought that one shot was a knockout, and ooh, good deflections there. Little rally of shots from Zephyr onto Minor Threat's wedge, but the wedge holding strong. Minor Threat turning very slowly. I think it might be some sort of battery issue, maybe. I don't know. Zephyr trying to spin back up to speed. Minor Threat turning slowly. Zephyr struggling to get away, and there they go now. Definitely need to change the batteries on Minor Threat. And they're pushing Zephyr into the wall with some love taps from the hammer. There we go. Some more speed and force on those hammer shots, and Zephyr gets away. It's a more entertaining match compared to the last time we saw them, but definitely not one for the record books, but it will go to the judges nonetheless. Interesting match from those two. At least Zephyr was actually able to spin up compared to the last time these two fought each other, but Minor Threat was still able to get some good shots in on top of Zephyr when they pinned them in, doing so for a good portion of the beginning of this match. But then Zephyr managed to get some nice shots on the wedge and sides of Minor Threat, taking advantage of Minor Threat's slow speed, but Minor Threat still holding strong and using its defensive wedge. And the winner, by split decision, is Minor Threat.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Second match of the video for these two. Lift Jig, very pensive off the start, and immediately getting underneath Bayani. Those the forks on Lift Jig are quite low and hinged, so they are very effective. And Bayani trying to circle around, get to the sides, away from that lifting weapon of Lift Jig. I love the bright green color. It's so vibrant in the arena. And oh, getting underneath, almost completing a full lift, but that spinner, they got to be very careful. There we go. Damage being caused somehow. Lift Jig bringing their weapon down, trying to lift up Bayani, and they get propped on top of the wedge. Good shove there. Good control, bringing the lifter on top of that spinning weapon when it's spinning at full speed. I don't know how wise that is. Bayani trying to get around to the sides, but Lift Jig coming in from behind, trying to lift them up. They don't seem to have enough power in that lifter right now. Maybe some issues, maybe some thermal cutout. I do not know. Lift Jig trying to get to the side, but they missed their opportunity. And again, they got to be more careful when lifting. Oh, they got their lifter underneath Bayani, and they flip it over. The first successful flip in Brawlers history. Lift Jig now trying to control Bayani around the arena. They will struggle with moving Bayani. Those receivers are now facing towards the floor. Lift Jig trying to get him out of the arena. I don't think they can. I think they're more focused on winning those control points instead of trying to right Bayani in the dying moments of this match. And there we go. There's the 10-second countdown, and Bayani is free. Lift Jig getting some more aggressive half lifts in there. And we will be going to the judges. A very dominant display from Lift Jig, and Bayani moving at the end. Bayani was trying to get its weapon into play, but Lift Jig was able to take full advantage of that, lifting up Bayani a few times, even prying off a front panel, there you go, and able to control Bayani around the match. And we had a very comedic moment here when Bayani was flipped over by Lift Jig, the very first flip in Builders Brawlers history, and Lift Jig was able to control Bayani for pretty much the entire rest of this match. And the winner, by unanimous decision, is Lift Jig.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Let's see how Bayani has recovered from their loss against Lift Jig in the last fight, and a big shot there. This is actually a rematch from the last time, from the last video. These two did fight. It was Bayani's debut at the time. Not debut match, but definitely debut video. And Zephyr trying to spin back up to speed, but they are struggling. Bayani taking full advantage, kind of. Getting their weapon up to speed. Sort of. Come on, Bayani, get your weapon up to speed. There you go. Both weapons up to speed now. Good shots there from both. Another little minor scratching hit. Little aggressive love tap, let's say. Zephyr trying to get their weapon up to speed, but Bayani is much quicker and right now being the more aggressive. There we go. Zephyr getting their weapon up to speed. A lot faster of a spin-up time. And ooh, a big shot there. Sending Bayani into the wall. I feel like I've said that before. I think Bayani's weapon isn't spinning. Yeah, it's not spinning. And maybe that direct weapon-on-weapon impact might have dislodged it? Maybe? I don't know. Zephyr now spinning back up to speed again. Bayani lining up for a charge. There we go. Ooh, damage caused there. I think it was onto one of the wedgelets of Bayani. Zephyr trying to spin back up to speed, but not doing so. And I think... Oh, yep, there is life in Bayani's weapon. Okay, maybe some percussive maintenance was done mid-match. Who knows? And Zephyr trying to spin back up to speed, and there they go. Both weapons up to speed. Big hit there. Damage being caused off of both bots. I think more so on Bayani than to Zephyr. Really close match between these two spinners. I would not like to be a judge for this one. I do not know which way it will go. And Bayani getting some little shots at the end. It was a very good rematch here between Bayani and Zephyr. It was good points of control for Bayani and also good hits from Zephyr onto Bayani. It was even able to stop Bayani's spinner at a time, but Bayani was able to use superior drive and control to basically bully Zephyr around the arena, but Zephyr's spinner, when it's up to speed, can cause a lot of damage and havoc to Bayani. So let's see how the judges thought of it. And the winner, by split decision, is Bayani.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Here we go for the main event, I guess, of this video. Lift Jig and Henry. Henry, a grizzled veteran, and Lift Jig, the rookie. Lift Jig with 2 victories under its belt already. Well, it's metaphorical belt. Henry trying to use its improved wedge to get in underneath. Oh, a good lift there from Lift Jig, tearing off one of the side armor panels on Henry. Already ahead on the weapon effectiveness category. A little half lift there from Lift Jig onto Henry. Henry now trying to push back on the bright green lifter, and a good lift there from Lift Jig again. Now pushing Henry back into that into the back wall. Henry seems to be struggling for mobility, I think. I don't know. Lift Jig now dislodging one of the eyes of Henry. Now, Lift Jig being pushed back against by Henry, I think. Oh, now they're... Oh, nope, they were momentarily stuck, and now being pushed back. Trying to free themselves with their lifter. Henry trying to make a comeback here. They are pretty behind so far, and Lift Jig getting away from that discarded armor panel, and now lifting, and then lifting again. Both the eyes gone from Henry. They are trying to do what they did against Bayani and get him up and over. Oh, a good push there from the rear. Henry using the rear to push back onto Lift Jig. It's a back and forth match. A good ram there by Henry. Another nice lift. It's really back and forth. A push from Henry, a lift from Lift Jig. It's going to be difficult to... It's kind of difficult to tell which way this match will go, but Henry being pretty dominant here at the end as Lift Jig now running away, and a good little push there from Henry at the end. I wonder how the judges will call this. It was a very good match here. Lift Jig was able to use its forks to get under Henry's wedge, and even gets a nice few lifts, and even removing a side armor panel off of Henry. But Henry was able to push back at some points, but Lift Jig was able to remain aggressive and get out of this pin from Henry, even able to lift up Henry and dislodge both of Henry's eyes. I don't know how much that'll matter, but Henry was able to push back at the end, so let's see how the judges think. The winner, by unanimous decision, is Lift Jig.